the measurements of all basic quantities, that is length, mass and time. Today we are going to learn about the theories of error, right? So what is it? So we know that measurement forms a basic fundamental one, or I can say it is a foundation for all measurements in our science and technology. We get a result from that any measurement or experiments. That result will surely have some uncertainty in its value. What it means by uncertainty means there will be some errors will be in the readings. All the measured thing will surely have some errors. So it is not possible to eradicate an error from a measured value. That's why while doing some experiments, what we are doing means we are repeating the experiments. You may also notice that while in your 10th standard practical, they are asking us to do a screw gauge. They will not ask you to take one reading. They will ask you to take at least 3 to 4 readings. They will ask you to repeat that thing in different position. Why they are asking so? In order to eradicate the error. By taking the mean value of everything, the error will be minimized. So anything we are measuring in, surely that measurement will have some uncertainty. So that uncertainty means what? Some error is not very perfect, but some error will be there. We call that as an error. So in a measurement, we have to surely know about two terms. One is called as accuracy, another one is called as precision. So in our measurement, surely we have to know about what? A two term, one is called as accuracy and another one is called as precision. So from the word accuracy itself, we can easily able to understand accurate. So accurate means what? The how close we are to a true value, right? So we are saying that how far from a true value, how close, right? How far from a true value. One value is that means we are taking a reading. Then we have to check the reading, how close that value is to it. We call that as accurate. Then what is precise means? We can easily say that how far or how resolution value the values are. So we say that it tells us to what resolution or a limit the quantity is measured. You know about the word resolution. Resolution means what? How far a thing can be taken into a bigger one. We are zooming it, isn't it? A single point will become a two distinct point of it. We also resolution. So how far we can extend the reading, we can call that as what? Resolution. So we can say that, so accuracy is nothing but how far it is to a true value, and precision tells me that how resolved the results will be. So that is the meaning of these two words. So errors is not eradicated in all measured values. There will be some uncertainty in the value will be there. We call that as an error. So while doing all the experiments, we will repeat the experiments once or twice in order to minimize the error. We will not able to completely exact the error from a measured value, right? So that is called as an error. And in order to know that, we have to know about two things. One is accuracy, another one is precision. So accuracy stands for what? How far will be the value is to a true value, and precision tells you that so how the value is resolved or a limit to the quantity to be measured. In order to understand these two terms in very deep, we will take an example. So what example? So here I am saying the true value of anything, right? Let it be it's my height or some person's height. So it will be what? 5 feet 9 inches, right? It is 5 feet 9 inches. So I am measuring my height with the help of a yardstick. Yardstick is a long scale like structure called as what? Yardstick. So I am measuring with a normal yardstick and getting the measurements to be equal to what? 5 feet 9, right? Then if I use it with a laser yardstick method to have a perfect height test, I am getting 5 feet 9 inches. Then I can say that this reading is not accurate one, but this reading is a very accurate one to a true value. So that accurate means what? The value should be, these two are the measured values. So I have measured it, right? So this is a true value of it. So the true value, the measured value is how close to the true value. That is called as accuracy. So this laser yardstick method, we have found the value which is very close to what? The true value. We call that term as what? Accuracy. Can you able to understand that? So accuracy means the measured value should be very close to the true value. Then I can say that measured quantity is very accurate to the true value. Is it easy? Yes, right. Now we'll take another example for precision. Right? So length, we'll say length of something. Length of something I am written as 5.678 centimeter. So length of anything, it can be a duster or anything else, right? So length of some object is what? 5.678 centimeter. Now what I am doing, I am taking some resolution instrument which is having 0.1. You know that how far it has 0.1 can be measured. So with the help of that, I measured the same length. I am getting what? 5.5 centimeter. So you know only one decimal means we will get the value to be what? Only one decimal point. So I am getting it to be what? 5.5 centimeter. If that instrument what I am using is somewhat more small, like 0.01 centimeter, it may be vernier caliper, right? So like that I am using an instrument means 0.01 centimeter. The reading can be what? 5.38. We get two more decimal points, right? 5.38. We are getting two terms then. After decimal we are having what? Two terms. So here only one term, here only two terms. If I go for another thing, it is 0.001 centimeter means again we will get what? After decimal point we will have what? 3 times. So we can say that with these two things we can say that the 5.5, you see that 5.5 is very close to this value. Here 5.6 is there, here 5.5 is there. So 5.5 is very close to what? 5.6. So I can say this reading is more accurate but it is less precise. Right? So we will not have other terms. Only we are having what? Only one term. So I am saying that it is less precise but it is very accurate towards the true value. So this first result, first measured value 5.5 centimeter is, I can say it is a more accurate one and it is what? Less precise. If I go for the second reading, 5.38, it is 5.6 here but it is 5.3. It is not accurate. Right? It's not accurate. Then I can say it what? It is more precise. It has been the second term. So it has been more precise but it is what? Less accurate. More precise and less accurate. If this value is, I can say it is 5.58 something. Right? 5.58 means I can say it is more accurate as well as precise. So all accurate value can be precise but all precise value cannot be accurate. So anything which is very accurate means it can also be what? A precise. But all precision value will not be accurate. Is it clear to you? So we are repeating experiments and we are getting the same readings means we can call that as a precise. Right? Let me check other examples. So let us take, you know, your shooting things, right? So what is the shooting one? Arrow shooting or anything can be there. We will play again, right? So these are the shooting sticks. So central point will be a mark will be there, next will be there, next will be there. So if I give an arrow to you and ask you to throw in it means if some person is throwing continuously here and giving 3 arrows to you, right? So you are throwing it in it means I will say that you are more accurate, correct? You are more accurate. If it is not that, so I can say that what? One arrow here, one arrow here and one arrow here means I will say you are not accurate. Right? So you are not accurate as well as you are not precise. Right? So what is the accuracy means? If you are doing it, right? If you are doing it at the same thing, then you are said to be what? More accurate. Right? If I say precise, repeatedly I am not doing it. I am not throwing it here, but I am saying it. I am repeatedly having the arrow at some other point. True value is that only when you hit the center only, it has a true value, then we can say it is accurate. But repeatedly the 3 arrows has been marked at this point when I will say that you are more precise but you are less accurate. Right? Can you able to understand that? So repeating the same thing at some other manner, we can also say that as what? A precision. Not only resolution. So some value which has been repeating but it is not very close to a true value means we can also call that value to be what? A more precise one. Right? So can you able to understand what it is? So what is the error is? So error is nothing but it is an uncertainty in any measured values. Surely that will be error in doing some experiments. We have to minimize the error. We will not able to eradicate or extract the complete error from the measured value. So the two terms are what? One is accuracy, one is precision. So accuracy stands for how far we are to the true value and precision stands for are what? Precise. So in our next thing, we'll study about the errors. Right? In detail, we'll study about what? Errors. Now we are going to study about the theory of error. So what the error is? Error we found to be equal to what? It is the uncertainty in the measurement. We call it as what? Error. So there is some uncertainty is there. So uncertainty in measurement is called as what? Error. So we write as the equation. What equation we can write? Error will be equal to true value minus measured value. For true values it is 10. I am measuring it to be 9. So 10 minus 9, 1. That one value is said to be an error. Right? So error is nothing but it is what? It is a true value minus measured value. So that will be some fraction value will be there. That fraction value will represent as what? Error. Usually errors are of two types. One error is called as systematic error. Another one is called as what? Random error. So from the word itself we can easily able to understand. What do you mean by systematic? If I do anything in a regular repeated manner, I will say that is what? So that is happening in a very systematically. We'll use it, isn't it? So that person is doing the work in a very systematic manner. So that is called as systematic. So systematic error means the thing which will be repeated in the same directions in n number of experiments and n number of measured values. We call that type of error as what? This is systematic error. Then it is a random error. What is a random stands for? Doing it in a random way. So we are taking or picking the things in a random way, or we are rolling the dice in a random way, right? So that random stands for what? So random is not a perfect one, so it will goes on changing at the time by time. We call that type of thing is said to be what? A random error. So errors are classified into two types. One is systematic error, another one is called as what? Random error. Now we are going to study that very detailed in it. So what is a systematic error? So we can say that I already said systematic means what? The thing which will be repeated continuously. So we can say that it is a reproducible inaccuracy. The error is itself what? Not accurate one. Some inaccuracy will be that which will be continuously repeating and reproducible means then we call that type of error to be what? Yes, systematic error. So that will follow in the same directions and it will be present through all the experiment. If I want to tell an example, we have learned about screw gauge and vernier caliper. If a screw gauge is there, it has some error. It has a positive error 5 means. So I am doing the screw gauge, the error screw gauge with the experiments means the 5 value will be added in all the measured values. So throughout my experiments, that error calculation should be added with the real one. Then only I will get a correct answer. If I neglect that one means I will have an error in that standard value. So that error, I am saying 5 positive error, 5 error means we have to add it in each measured values. So that has to be repeated from one value to another value. We call that type of error to be what? Systematic error. Right? So what is a systematic error? Yes, it is a reproducible inaccuracy that will take place in the same direction and it will be persist throughout our measured value. We call that as a systematic error. The systematic error can be further divided into 5 types. What are they? One can be instrumental error, next can be imperfection in an experimental technique, the next is a personal error, next error due to external causes, and the last one is least count error. Right? The systematic error can be further divided into what are they? One, it is an instrumental error. The second one is what? Imperfection in experimental technique. The next third one is what? Personal error. And the fourth one is errors due to external causes. And the fifth one is least count error. Now we are going to study one more. Right? The first one, instrumental error. So what do you understand from that? Instrumental means what? All things are said to be instruments. So while they are manufacturing in an industries, they will calibrate in a wrong manner. Calibration means what? You will say that lines will be there. If you take your normal meter scale, so there will be a black color line will be marked. So to tell about 1 centimeter, 2 centimeter. On the other side, we can have a millimeter in some scale, or we can have an inch the width of the two lines is not in a proper manner means we say that is a wrong calibrator. So some instruments like everything has a reading values in it, right? So all if you take a screw gauge, if you take a vernier caliper, if you take any instruments like spectrometers also, you will have a scale in it and all the scales will have a calibrated reading. Something will be given in millimeters, some terms will be given in degrees, someone it will be given in centimeter also. So all the instruments has to be calibrated in a proper manner. If the calibration, in the calibration, if there is any wrong thing is that if any line is left or width is uneven, that error is said to be what? Instrumental error. So instrumental error arises during the manufacturing, right? It's not our fault. So instrument has been manufactured in a wrong calibrated way. Therefore, we can minimize it. How we can minimize it? So we can minimize it by choosing a correct instrument. So we will go and see that. So how it is right? Okay, it has been perfect. So we have to check it, right? So check it and we have to take that instrument. Then the error can be minimized and it can be eradicated, right? So you know about instrumental error. So instrumental error is nothing but there will be a wrong calibration in the instruments. We call that type of error as what? Instrumental error. Next we will go for what? Imperfection in experimental technique. What do you mean by imperfection? I'm perfect. I'm imperfect. What do you mean by that? Perfect means everything is good. Imperfect means I'm not proper. So that is the same thing. So imperfection in an experimental technique. While doing some experiment, I have to take some steps to eradicate some errors, right? Right? We have to check the temperature, check the surroundings, everything we have to do. So we will not go randomly, we will take two things or two chemicals and we will not mix it, right? We have to know that. So if I mix this chemicals with another chemical, what will happen? We have to be very precautions. We have to know about the things what is going to happen, right? We have to have a calculated mind while doing an experiment. So we can say that there will be a limitation in the experimental arrangement will be there. That is, we should not do this while doing the experiment. You should not. This should be avoided. We have to check this before while doing it, right? Everything we have to be very clean about it, right? So that is said to be what? Imperfection in experimental technique. That is, there will be a limitation in an experimental arrangement. If I want to tell you an example, if I take a calorimeter is one of the heat experiments, right? So in order to measure anything using a calorimeter, we have to take a very proper insulation, right? If there is no proper insulation in that means all the energies will be lost through this radiation. We call this as what? Imperfection in an experimental technique. Now the next is personal error. What does that personal error stands for? The error made by the human beings, or I can say that the error made by the person who is doing the experiment. So what are the errors they can do? We can say that the incorrect initial settings will be there. Before setting an instrument, he will be wrongly setting the instrument, and or carelessness in taking the readings, or some precautions have been taken place. So that types of all things which a human being is going to make while doing an experiment means we call that type of error as what? A personal error. That is truly towards our mistakes, not on the instrumental mistakes, right? The first one, instrumental error and imperfection is thing. Instrumental error is purely depends upon instrument fault, right? Imperfection in experiment technique depends upon what? Our fault. If we are not taking the precautions in doing the experiment, we will find the error, right? So the personal error is fully of the person who is doing a mistake by measuring a careless mind. So instead of writing 20 degree or 25 degree, they can write 52, right? So that means reverse things will be there. Instead of 12, they will say 21. So like that, they are doing a careless mistakes and they are improper precautions has been taken place. They are not doing a perfect precaution steps while doing an experiment, or they can incorrect initial settings. Initial settings are not wrong. We can say that is what? A personal error. If I give a screw gauge to you, you are not seeing the error and you are simply doing its experiments, it is called as what? A personal error. So because a screw gauge and a vernier caliper is given means first we have to see the error first. We have to check whether it is a positive error or negative error or nil error. Without seeing the error calculation, we are directly involving in taking a reading means then that types of things are called as what? Personal errors. The next one is errors due to external but I am giving a surrounding temperature to be what? Very cool. Then there is no use in that. So we have to set up a proper environmental setup to do an experiment. If I am not doing it so, then that types of errors are said to be what? Errors due to external causes. Temperature, pressure, humidity, and so on. We can go on. Right? So all the things are said to be what? A systematic error. And the last one is what? Least count error. What is in the least count? I already said to you. What it is? It is the smallest value that can be measured using an instrument. If I take any instrument, I can say this is the least value that can be measured. If I take your normal meter scale, right, centimeter scale also, we can say that 0.1 centimeter. The first reading 0 and then 0.1 centimeter. So that is the least value that can be measured using that scale. We can call that as what? Least count. So what is that least count error means? It mainly depends upon the instrument resolution. Right? So if we have to choose a correct instrument for a proper reading, we are checking, we want a reading in a very perfect manner, but I am taking a less resolved instrument means, then that type of errors are said to be what? It is called as least count error. Right? So we have to minimize this error by choosing a proper resolved instrument. Then only we will get an accurate value that will be very near to what? A true value. Can anyone understand? So these are some of the types of what? Systematic errors. So systematic error means what? The thing which has been repeated systematically throughout the experiment and it will revise throughout the experiment means we call that type of error as what? Yes, it is systematic error. Systematic errors are how much type? So instrumental error, imperfection in experimental technique, personal error, error due to external causes, and the last one is what? A least count error. So I know it, right? You will understood it, right? So instrumental error is purely due to the instrument fault, right? Wrong calibration. And imperfection experiment technique is what? So we are not giving a proper precautions, right? We have to take a proper precautions to do an experiment. We are losing it means that type of error. This personal error is our cause, right? So we are taking a reading in a wrong manner. We are not taking steps of precautions. We are not taking into initial alignment setups. All these things come under what? Personal error. So this is due to what? Experimental conditions. So errors due to external cause. And the last one is least count. We have to choose a proper instruments for a proper reading. By choosing a wrong instrument, then automatically we will come under which error? Least count error. Now we will move for a random error. So we studied about the systematic error, right? So the next error is what? Random error. So we already studied that. Error is classified into two types. One is systematic error, another one is random error. So in systematic error, we studied about 5 divisions in it, right? So systematic error is nothing but what? It is a continuously repeating one. We call that as what? Systematic error. Now we'll go for a random error. What that random stands for? It is taken in a not proper way, right? We can also call it by another name called chance error, right? Randomly picking. Like means what? So we are picking anything else. We don't know what we are picking. We are not picking to the same quantity. We will take different things. Means we can call that as what? It is a chance error or a random error. If we have a bag or a basket of different colored balls, I'll ask you to pick any color. So first time we'll get red. The next time we'll get yellow. The next time we'll get violet. So likewise, we'll not go on taking only red color. If we go on taking only red color means it is systematic one, right? Now we are taking red color one time, we are taking blue color one time, we are taking pink one time means we can call that as a random one. If we are repeating the same color means we can say that okay, systematically they have been, the hand is what? Picking only one color. Robotic means it will pick only one color by identification. That is called systematic. So each time we are getting different colors means then I can call that as what? A random one. So a random error can also set as what? It is a chance error. We don't know when the next red color we will pick. Isn't it? So we say that this random error or anything will occur by, we can say random and unpredictable variation in experimental conditions like pressure, temperature, voltage supply, etc. The same thing, right? So error will be a common one, but if it is a repeating continuously means we can call it a systematic. If it is not repeating, it takes place due to a random thing means sometimes it is correct, concurrent. Sometimes it will what? Changing. The value is changing continuously means we can call that error as what? A random error. So a random and unpredictable variation in experimental conditions like pressure, temperature, voltage supply. So if we check our home, so our home will get 220 voltage. So daily we will get 220 voltage, but it is not sure that the 220 voltage will always be same. Sometimes it will be 218, sometimes it will be 210, it will be 221. So like that the value will be vary from 200 to 220. So that voltage supply is not very steady. It's not a direct one, right? So it will be, if I use a 5 volt battery, the current will be steady. It is a 5 volt. But if it is a home appliance, we are using alternating current means the alternating current will vary from 200 to 220. So the current fluctuation in the reading will be there. We can call that as a random error. So a random error arises mainly due to what? Some experimental conditions like temperature, pressure, voltage supplies, etc. And also it may arise due to some personal errors also. What is personal error? The person is not taking it. If we are doing some heat experiment, we have to take the temperature in a 5-degree rise in temperature, or we have to take for every 10 minutes what will be the reading, or we have to go for it. So if I take 10, first time I am properly checking it and taking the reading in 10 minutes. Next I am missing the 10 and I am taking it in 11th minute means the person is not in a proper way. He is random, he is not making the time. So he says one time 5 minutes, one time 10 minutes, one time 12 minutes. So like that the time is varying and he is taking a reading means then time take off error is called as what? Random errors. So everything depends on us from it, right? So systematic error or random error. So we have to be very careful in our experience. Then only the errors can be minimized. So how we can minimize this random error? Simply by taking an arithmetic mean. So what is that arithmetic mean means? We will repeat more experiments. We will do many readings. We will take many measurements. We have to add all the values and we have to take a mean value for that. So that type of thing is called as what? Arithmetic mean. Arithmetic mean is nothing but it is the best possible true value. So by taking an arithmetic mean only, we can be very near to the true value. If we are taking a reading in a random manner, our reading will not be in a true value. Right? So how can I write this true value? So arithmetic mean. So AM stands for M stands for what? It is a mean value. So it will be summation of A1 plus A2 plus A3 plus N number of readings. How many readings I take? If I am taking a 10 readings, the 10 readings divided by 10. If I am taking 5 readings, the 5 readings are divided by 5. Right? We call that as what? A arithmetic mean value. Right? So random error can be minimized by means of what? Arithmetic mean. But systematic error cannot be minimized. Right? So systematic error means I am using a tape, measuring tape to measure my breast size also. So I am using it for a very long time. The tape will be somewhat loose enough and the reading will be somewhat error thing will be there. But I may not know that because I am using it for a long time. The thing has been by using it, it has been elongated. I am taking the measurement using the same experiment means or same measuring tape means my calculation or my reading will be wrong. But I will not know that. So only when I know it precautions, oh my tape is wrong manner, my tape has been very lengthened and it has been loosed over like that, but I can change for another one. If I go on taking with that measurement, then I will surely will have what? A systematic error. I will not be able to eradicate that. Right? So I will using that tape only, I will take all the measurements. That measurement will be of same type of values and same tape. I will not able to minimize or eradicate a systematic error. But random error can be minimized by using what? By taking an arithmetic mean value. What does arithmetic mean means? How many readings we are taking? We have to add all the readings and we have to divide it by the number. If I am taking 10, we have to divide it by 10. So the simplified form can be written like this, right? This is a mathematical representation. So we are 1 by n is common. Summation is addition has been given in a symbol of summation. This is representative of summation. The summation of value, how many values are we going to do? We are going to take I is equal to 1 to n. Right? It is AI. So this is the same. The same equation has been written in a short form. Summation of I is equal to observer. So we are doing many mistakes, means that error are called as gross error. So gross error can be a systematic error as well as can be a random error. It depending upon the measured, right? If the reading measured values of same pattern, I can say it is a systematic error. If the measured values of random pattern, I can call it as what? Random error. So gross error can be of anything, but commonly we are saying that it is a gross error because the error is completely depends upon the person who is doing the experiment. We can call that type of error as what? A gross error, right? So for example, what are things we can say? The person is reading an instrument without having a proper setting in that, right? So we are saying we are taking a reading, we are setting a reading, right? We want to take any reading in a balance. If it is not in a balanced conditions, I am going on taking a reading means the reading will be what? Wrong. So in order to take a proper reading in a balance, we have to set it in a null position, right? So both the beams should be very clean, balanced, and then only we have to go on measuring it. So without having a balanced conditions, if I go on measuring the weight of something means, then what will happen? Surely there will be an error in weight. So that type of a thing will come under what error? It is a gross error. So reading an instruments without a setting, a proper setting, we can call that type of error as what? Gross error. The next is wrong observation. So the person will not have the awareness of the precautions or errors that are going to take place while doing an experiment. While doing any experiments, if it is a simple experiment or a very bigger experiment, a person has to be very clear about the precautions and the errors, what will happen, how it will happen, so what are the effects it will be there. So everything we have to be very clear about it while doing a simple experiments also. We have to be very careful enough. Right? So the person here, the wrong observation person will not set for initial precautions. He will take randomly, he will take some readings and randomly he will, okay, my thing I have to take a reading, okay, let it be like that. They will go on take a reading means that type of error is said to be what? A gross error. And also he is noting a wrong observations. So I said that already, right? Instead of saying 21, he may say 12. Instead of saying 34, he may say 43. So wrongly taking a reading, right? 32, 23, like that wrongly saying a reading or taking a values or recording it means we can say that as a whole, it is a gross error. So if you say if it is a below, it is 10 is that, right? That 10 reading will be that. Then it will have how many lines? It will have 10 lines, then here it will be 20, right? So the here 10, 20 like this going, here again we can say this becomes to be 30. He will not notice the increased value, right? So if any reading is here, any reading is pointing here, some person will say it is 15. If it is 15 means it is right. Some person by seeing this, if they are saying 25 means the reading is said to be what? A wrong observation. Am I right? So real value is 15. It is increasing in this manner. By saying it in the reverse manner and 20 and he is saying this is 25 means then the person is having what? A careless in the measurement. We call that type of error to be what? A gross error. We can call that error to be what? A gross error. And the next is what? Using your wrong values for a standard one. So we are having many standard values, right? So if I say the charge of an electron, it is minus 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb. So that is a real value. We are having more Avogadro numbers or the Planck's constants or the various one atomic mass units or the we are having various standard values or there in our calculations. By not taking that and putting in a wrong manner, we can call that type of error is also what? A gross error. So this gross error can be completely eradicated or it can be minimized only by the observer who is doing the experiment. If the observer is not having a clear idea, if he is not very concerned about the experiments, then that type of error is surely will not be eradicated. So we have to be very precautions while doing experiments. So that types of error can be simply what? Eradicated and minimized to a larger extent. So that is the theory of error. Right? So this questions are very important 5 more questions for you. We studied that. What do you mean by an error? What is the error? It is an uncertainty in the measurement is called an error. Or I can say that true value minus measured value is said to be an error. So the error can be of how many types? 2 types. One is a systematic error, another one is a random error. So I hope you have clearly understood what is a systematic error, which is repeated in a standard manner is called as what? Systematic error. and the thing which is repeated in an irregular manner means we can call that as what? A random error. Next we will go for a calculations of error analysis.
Let us have a visualized idea about accuracy, precision, and the error analysis. So listen now. So we already studied that the precision or accuracy. Accuracy is how far the value is very nearer to the true value. So here 1, 2 and 3 is there. So the 5 arrows has been given in the arrow 1. So we can say it is more accurate. Now it has been randomly scattered. We can say that it is not accurate and not precise. If I repeat it again, so all these 5 arrows has been given at some other different point, that is in the point 3. So it is not accurate. If I do it at the 1, it is very accurate. If I doing it repeatedly at 3, it is not accurate, but I am very precise. Therefore I can say that so this is not less accurate and more precise. Now let us measure an length of an object. So its original length is 32.56 millimeter. Now I am going to use 2 different measuring scales to measure its length. The first scale has a least count of 0.1 millimeter. So if I measure it with that, it shows me the length equal to 32 millimeter. If I measure the same thing with the help of another measuring scale, so we can say that it is 0.1 or 2 millimeter. So we can say that it gives a value of 32.5 millimeter. So I can say that the first one is not accurate to the true value and but is less accurate, and the second one is more accurate to the true value. I hope you have understood the accuracy level. If I say about the precise value, the 32.5 is more accurate and also more precise. The 32 value is less accurate and less precise. If I use a vernier caliper to measure this length means it shows me 32.56. Therefore this measurement is very accurate and also very precise, because we know that the least count of this vernier caliper is what? 0.01 centimeter. Now we'll go for error. So we have studied that there are 2 types of error. One is a systematic error, another one is a random error. And systematic error has been divided into many things, that like instrumental error, personal error, imperfection in the arrangement of an experiment, and so on. So we are going to see one by one. Imperfect instrument, faulty technique, and incorrect process. So everything will come under what? Systematic error. So if I take an example of a perfect balance between left and right, we have to see that. So if you see the arrow mark in the first diagram, it has been given upwards. That means the left balance and the right balance are equally balanced. If I see it in the imperfect balance, the right arrow has been shifted towards the right side. Therefore the balance will be, it's not a proper division. So while doing measurement in this, we have to set for a proper notation. If we take the temperature measurement of a baby, the doctor is measuring at the ankle, right? So measuring at this point will have some effect, right? It affects by humidity. The mercury of the thermometer will be affected by the humidity, air and atmospheric pressure. It does not accurately measure the temperature of the child. When I do it in the mouth, it will shows me accurate measurements. Right? So if I say the scale, so I'm taking a measurement means the position and the tilt of a head should be proper. If I view it from a left or right side, my head has been tilted, so the measured value will be very long and it will show me error of 0.1 millimeter or so. Therefore, I have to measure it at the straight angle and my eye position should be on the scale, right? So left side and right side measurements are wrong. So only the position should be what? It is straight to the, that is we have to upper it. So this correction of the systematic error can be done by us only. So by doing physical balance, we have to check the positions and we have to measure the temperature in the mouth and we have to place in a right position to see the measurement. Now we'll go for a random error. So random means what? So it is randomly occurring means it is not in a perfect manner. So it is not regularly happening. It is not systematically happening. So that types of things are said to be in what? Random errors. I hope you have understood clearly about systematic and random errors. In random errors, we can say that it is unpredictable situations like voltage fluctuations, mechanical vibrations. So depending upon voltage fluctuations and the mechanical vibrations, everything will be affected. So we will not say that randomly, this is randomly happening. So one time we'll have a high fluctuation, one time has a moderate fluctuation, one is very least value. So there is no perfectness in the value. We call this type of thing as what? A random error. Now the last one is a least count error. We know that there are 4 different instruments has been shown here. So a least count of 1 centimeter, next one is least count of 0.5 centimeter, next is 0.2 centimeter and the least count of 1 millimeter. So what is the least count? The least value that can be measured using an instrument. So if I use a different instruments for measuring different things, it will give rise to what? Some errors in it. So I have to choose a correct values an instrument to measure a correct values. Now the least count 1 millimeter. Now we can see that already we have seen about vernier caliper and a screw gauge. So in vernier caliper we know that the least count is 0.01 centimeter and we can say that in screw gauge the least count is what? 0.01 millimeter. So vernier caliper least count is what? 0.01 centimeter. It is screw gauge in terms of centimeter we can say it is 0.001 centimeter. So this is a digital vernier caliper. We can easily able to move and see the value, right? Now, another way to reduce the least count error is to repeat the measurements and take the arithmetic mean to find the measured value closer to the actual one. We know that the systematic error cannot be neglected, so it can be rectified only by our sensations, but random errors can be neglected by taking a arithmetic mean. What does mean arithmetic mean? It is a summation of all the measured value by the whole numbers. How many terms we have repeated the experiment, it gives me the arithmetic mean. The formula for it is what? Summation of I equal to 1 to n divided by n. That is a formula for taking a mean value of the measured values. Now we'll go for an absolute error. What is that absolute error? The true value minus measured value. So each measured value will have some absolute errors and the absolute error